I went back and just did the research. I'm like, all right, I know, champ, and I know what you've done. But you had over 50 career interceptions, dog. Like 50 career picks. Like, bro, what's the cheat code to that? like, what was the one thing that you can say that probably contributed to you having the success of being able to get those picks? If it's one thing.
Honestly, I loved playing football. Let me make that clear. Football was the one thing I knew I was really good at. I really loved doing it. I felt like my ceiling was high, whether I wanted to play offense, defense, special team. It didn't matter. I loved what I did. And, you know, what keeps me humble is my idols, they had better careers than me. Deion Sanders, more picks. Ty Law, more picks. Darryl Green, more picks. Like, that keeps me humble because I know as good as I played, I mean, there's guys that did better. And, you know, that and I welcome that. And those are some of the closest people to me because, you know, the way they played is how I wanted to play, how I wanted to be revered. So, I mean, I ultimately lived out my dream. And, you know, and looking back and reflecting on my career, I can say I put it all out there. And that's all I want people to remember me by.
Yeah.
We remember, man, and you know, obviously going against you in the league, but that stretch Takeo talked about, that 05-06 season, 10 interceptions, arguably one of the best career seasons ever for a cornerback. Mm-hmm. And the year before, you had 8 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. So what went into that stretch that you were just balling out, lights out? Was there anything different about that stretch of your career?
You know, yeah. There's one thing that people really don't understand and why I started playing the way I played. Because if you're going to get picked, you got to see the ball.
Yeah,
and
right.
If you don't see the ball, you can't catch it. So what I did, I hurt my hamstring early in 05. Hurt my hamstring, I think it was 05, I believe. But at some point, no, actually it was 06. I hurt my hamstring, and I had those 8 picks, but I was just a ball hawk at that point. I was just all over the place. And when I hurt my hamstring, I changed my technique, and it came at a request from Bob Slowick, who was my D coordinator or DB coach at the time. And he was like, you know, just open up and make sure you take care of the deep ball. And it was just something that I bought into because I was hurt. I couldn't really bump and run. If you bump and run.
Nobody never knew that. Well, I remember that stance you
yeah.
where you
People
kind
tried
of be
to emulate it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I really can't teach you how to see what I see because everything I'm doing is off instincts and obviously some experience. So when younger players would ask me about the technique, I really had no good answer for. So when I reflect on those times and think about what I was doing, I was really just trying to keep myself in position to make plays, but obviously not get beat deep. Because if you're bump and run, you always contact. That puts a lot of stress on your hamstrings, your legs, more than you think. You know,
right.
Tackling puts a lot of stress on you. So anytime I would engage with another player, it would hurt. And I was like, man, I got to figure out how to play through this. That came as a recommendation from Bob Slowick. I bought into it. I perfected it. And it just became my thing. And people didn't know how to attack it because they thought they had me, but what they didn't realize is I could feel things. I could see the quarterback, but I could also see the receiver at the same time. So it just worked out because I was in the prime of my career. I felt the best I've ever felt. Fast, tough, everything you needed for a football player, I had it. And I just took advantage of it.
Now you heard it here first. This man had 10 picks that year, and we over here just talking about, like, damn,
what went into it?
Like, what went into it?
Yeah.
Oh, a strained hamstring that he didn't want to pull.
Hey.
And still got 10 of them.
I felt good doing it, but there were times, man, you could watch some of the games and you could see me like grabbing my hamstring sometimes, especially when guys would make sudden moves on me. Like, God, dog, man, that hurt because I either had to engage with them or go a different direction that I wasn't expecting. So I dealt with it. I mean, everybody's dealing with something.
Yeah.
That was just me.